is just fantastic.
Captain's Log, Subdates 21114.7. I have received my monthly incidents report from the ISO-Cube's warden. It indicates that inmate 042, Charlie Elphick, has chased inmate 8.75, Laurie Vallow, around the recreation block whilst chanting, "I am a very naughty Tory. We have taken action and castrated inmate 042. Welcome everyone to the halls of injustice. Today we have inmate number 050, Stephanie Nelson. We have another inmate as well, but to be honest, Stephanie Nelson is the main attraction for this video, so we will be referencing John Markham within this video, as there are a number of aspects within this video that feature both people. Hell, this particular subject so interesting, it might well be one of the very few Halls of Injustice videos that gets monetized. Fingers crossed, everyone. So Stephanie Nelson, from Wilmslow, Cheshire, was a medical degree student who in 2018 founded Porsche Cosmetics and lived a reasonably lavish lifestyle, proven by the fact she had business accounts for social media and posted regular pictures of the very globe-trotting, lavish, luxurious lifestyle she got to live. As at the time she had a son, one can assume the son was there with them or with the father. Based on what we know of people like this that typically like to flex the lifestyle they're living, they're just posers. This is something that will become a recurring theme later on, when we know how much she actually has and what she's actually worth. So with this in mind, we should now dive into what it is Stephanie Nelson has done that has gotten her into trouble and why she has become inmate 050. In 2019, she was pregnant, 4 months pregnant in fact, when at the Bearsted Kent car park, she received 2 holdalls loaded with 15 kilograms of 83% pure lemon sherbet. This lemon sherbet was placed within a hidden magnetized chamber within the boot of Stephanie Nelson's Hyundai iX35. 15 kilograms of lemon sherbet, by the way, retails in virtually every corner shop at £1.5 million. It's a fairly reasonable price for that much sherbet. The holdalls in question were given to her by John Markham, which will be the first of 2 incidents where they align momentarily. Interestingly though, at this moment in time, the police had surveillance on John Markham, so I am almost certain the majority of you can ascertain with 100% certainty where this sugar-coated contraband was going next. Stephanie Nelson within 30 minutes had managed to make it from Bearsted, Kent, to the Dartford Tunnel. Shortly before proceeding through the tunnel, she was stopped by the Kent police, who quickly had a little look in her car. Along with doing that, they arrested her anyway, and seized her assets on her of £41.05. This, by the way, is a relevant number for later. I promise you that. It didn't take long for the officers to find the magnetized compartment, which is, by the way, quite a sophisticated hiding mechanism. They found the compartment and then located by extension, because obviously it was in there, all 15 kilograms of the lemon sherbet. Understandably, because John Markham had also been arrested, Stephanie was too, and charged with, well, the usual sherbet-related crimes concerning being a courier. As is well established, the only courier allowed to distribute confectionery is Amazon Prime. It is worth adding now, Stephanie Nelson denied any involvement of being paid as a courier. Was this friends with benefits, perhaps? They promise you a key if you gave them £15 million worth of sherbet. Okay. Understandably, because the police had them under surveillance, well, Markham in particular. This went to court. It didn't take long, I promise you that, because this all happened initially last year, but a lot of it wasn't reported on until this year, because of issues that arose with appeals and repayment-related investigations, inquiries, conclusions, judgments, and blah, blah, blah. In possession of Stephanie Nelson, though, which did her no favours during the trial, was a BQ Aquarius encrypted phone, which is considered one of the most sophisticated phones, along with it being virtually impossible to crack. They've clearly never heard of Apple security. Christopher Martin, who was defending Stephanie Nelson, had said that Stephanie Nelson didn't even know what was inside the bags, adding that she was a victim of a controlling and physically ex-partner who had persuaded her to collect something on his behalf. Well, that's nice. You throw someone else under the bus in an attempt to save yourself. I'm starting to see why you got such a harsh sentence. You classy trollop. Understandably with this, both John Markham and Stephanie Nelson were found guilty of smuggling sherbet. How incredibly disappointing that so much quality 83% pure sherbet, £15 million worth, has now gone to waste. It should be noted the judge did state there was little to no evidence of pressure or coercion from Stephanie Nelson's ex, which means she did in fact lie, with the judge also adding that the beauty therapist had embarked on a deliberate course of conduct for financial gain, which had to be marked by a substantial prison sentence despite the profound impact on both her and her then unborn child. So now we should get to the sentences. This is fun. John Markham, after being found guilty, was sentenced to 10 years in prison, which was, upon appeal, reduced to 9 years. Wow. That appeal really did you some good. I'm sure he'll be out in 4.5 years anyway. Stephanie Nelson, found guilty, sentenced to 10 years. She also gave birth to a baby behind bars, by the way. Reduced to 8 years and 3 months upon appeal. Her son at the time was 7. That kid's going to miss a lot of years because of an entirely selfish decision. But now we get to something interesting. Back in Halls of Injustice with inmate 044 Yusuf Woolcock, we spoke about jelly babies and sherbet, I think. In that video, Yusuf Woolcock got a punishment. Yes, he went to prison and was involved in other related activities which increased his sentence. But the real punishment was the part where he has to pay back everything. Several £100,000 worth of confectionery-related activities. I will link that Halls of Injustice down below, but it is relevant here, because in the case of John Markham and Stephanie Nelson, both went through these same proceedings of having to pay back for what they did. It was believed at the time that Stephanie Nelson made £700,000 from her involvement in this, but eventually it was settled on £10,000 by prosecutors. That's what they believe she earned for her role in the scheme. It is believed for John Markham it was somewhere in the region of £500,000. So let's all take a wild guess, just a wild stab in the dark, how much Stephanie Nelson had to pay back. But before that, let's talk about what John Markham had to pay back first. John Markham was ordered to pay back £3,231, which was already in the hands of the National Crime Agency, which happened to coincidentally be the very value of his van. It was believed £500,000 was on the table for his involvement, but he paid back £3,231. By the way, if he hadn't paid that back, he'd get an even more severe sentence, a few extra days in prison, no doubt. Markham had claimed he made £106 from the drop-off, but it was agreed the actual benefit was exactly £500,522. But he pays back that, huh? Okay. Earlier I mentioned how much was confiscated off Stephanie Nelson when she was arrested. Does anyone remember that number? Because coincidentally, the very amount that was in her pocket when she was arrested was exactly what she was ordered to repay or get an additional 14 days in prison by default, which was £41.05. I'm not okay with this. My mind, and yes, there are children involved, is that she made 10 grand. Therefore, she repays 10 grand. And as far as John Markham goes, he should pay £500,522 in the same way Yusuf Woolcock was punished back in the Halls of Injustice number 44 with inmate 044. The prison sentences I fully agree with, but only because we like sherbet here. And no one else should be allowed it. In any mega city, sugar is outlawed. You know this. But as far as the repayment goes, that is a kick in the teeth. With this case, I'd love to know what you think, so please do let me know in the comments down below. As a final thing, I'm streaming on Twitch tonight. If I don't see you there, I hope you'll have a fantastic day, and thank you all for listening.